Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. I know you probably can't tell by the way that I'm dressed and the wind noise, but believe it or not, it is actually spring here in Northern Ireland. But do you know what? It's not raining. It's not completely freezing. I am wearing shorts. It's not too windy. And in fact, I can see patches of sunshine and patches of blue sky, so I'll take it. But yes, spring is finally here in Northern Ireland. And with that, there are probably people who are getting back out on the bike for the first time, or perhaps people who are new to cycling. So I thought that it might be useful if I gave some of my top tips for beginner road cyclists. So I have 7 tips for you if you are either new to road cycling or getting back into it after a while off. Tip number 1 is find some people to ride with. So whether that is if you have a friend who is into cycling you can go out cycling with, or perhaps you can convince a friend or some friends to join you in your new hobby, or find a local cycling club. There are loads of local cycling clubs up and down the country. If you don't know where your nearest cycling club is, go on to your local or your national cycling body and they might be able to help. So British Cycling or Cycling Ireland, for people in the UK and Ireland, they can hopefully help you find a local club. There's loads of benefits of riding with other people. There's the banter, the good fun, you know, getting out in an evening or getting out on a Saturday or Sunday and just having a bit of fun with some of your friends. That's the great crack, the community part of it. There's the encouragement and the motivation to keep going with your cycling. You will always find that when you're riding in a group, people will be pushing you on and challenging you. So that's really good to help you keep going with your cycling. There's safety in numbers. When you're cycling on the road, sometimes it can be a bit sketchy. So yeah, there's safety in numbers. If you're out with a group, that can help keep you safe. There's also the education piece. If you're out cycling with other people, some of those people might have been cycling for a longer time than you have, and they'll be able to almost train you in cycling and give you tips and give you advice. So there's loads of great reasons why you should find a local cycling club or cycle with some friends. Tip number 2 is to keep eating and drinking. Don't underestimate how much energy you burn, how much sweat you sweat, I guess, when you're cycling. The recommendation is that you consume about 1 gram per hour per kilogram of body weight. So for me, I'm about 65 kilos, so I try and make sure I'm eating about 60 grams of carbs per hour when I'm on the bike. As well as that, don't forget hydration. Make sure you're drinking fluids, drinking a sports drink, whether that's an energy carbohydrate based drink to help with that carb intake, or whether if it's a hotter day, you might have an electrolyte drink to replace some of the salt you're losing through sweat. But yes, make sure you keep eating and drinking. When I'm just doing a short ride like today, I'm only doing 20-25 miles today. When I'm doing a short ride, I'll take these little mini Soaring lunchbox loaves with me. They're little individually wrapped Soarings. There's 17 grams of carbs in each of those, and I know that if I have a couple of those and a bottle of carbohydrate drink, then I'm fine. If I am doing a longer ride, I will take, as well as my drinks, I will take sachets of energy drink because that's easier to carry on the bike, and I can top that up anywhere I can get a tap. I will take larger bars out with me if I'm doing longer cycles, so like these bars from Sturker I've started using recently on longer rides, and they are absolutely brilliant. That has 50 grams of carbs in. And if it's a hot day and I need to replace the salts and electrolytes, I'll take little tablets out with me that I can just pop in my water bottle to replace the salts I'm losing through sweat. Tip number 3 is to learn some basic bike maintenance. So make sure you know how to adjust your gears, the tension in your gear cables, adjusting your brakes and your brake cables. Make sure you know how to properly degrease and clean the bike. But probably most importantly, make sure you know how to deal with a flat tire. Make sure you know how to change an inner tube, that sort of thing, because nothing worse than getting stuck out somewhere when you're out on a ride and not being able to change your tire when you get flat. And this might sound silly, but I recommend actually when you're at home and have some time, practice changing an inner tube on your bike so that you know how to use your tire levers, you know how to get the tire out, new tube in, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's probably the most important, is make sure you learn how to deal with a flat. Tip number 4 is to ride alone. Now, I know that I just said to ride with other people, but it's also important to go out for rides on your own. Now, why would you want to go for a ride on your own when you can go for a ride with other people? The reason that it's important to go for rides on your own as well is it helps build your confidence on the road as a cyclist. It helps build your strength. When you're out on your own, you have nowhere to hide. You can't sit behind somebody else and shelter from the wind and that sort of thing. So it helps to build your strength. Actually, sunshine, amazing. It's warm. Tip number 5. I can't believe that this would be a controversial tip for cyclists, but believe it or not, it probably is. Tip number 5 is to wear a helmet. I mean, that sounds incredibly obvious, but some people don't. Some people don't wear a helmet when they're out on their bike. Definitely wear a helmet. It will protect you if and when you come off and fall. I have been in a few crashes over my kind of 10 years of cycling. Most of them were fairly benign, didn't do much damage or anything, but one crash I was in, I came off, I fractured my wrist, and I was off the bike for a long time. But in that same crash, when I went down, I banged my head quite hard off the corner of a brick wall. Thankfully, I was wearing a helmet. If I hadn't been wearing a helmet, it probably would have been a lot more serious than just a broken wrist. So yeah, tip number 5 is to wear a helmet. Tip number 6, I'm holding the camera with my other hand. Tip number 6 is to get a bike fit. Now, you don't have to do this, but I do recommend getting a bike fit. Ideally, if you can get a bike fit before you buy a bike to make sure you're getting the right size, but at the very least, follow the manufacturer's recommendations for bike sizing when buying a bike, because not all bikes are sized the same. Once you've gotten a bike that is the right size, then ideally go for a bike fit. Now, why would you want to go for a bike fit? Well, the benefits of going for a bike fit are it makes sure that you're set up correctly on the bike, and that does 2 things. One, that means that you are getting the most power and the most efficient use of your muscles and your energy when cycling. And number 2, it prevents injury. I've had a number of bike fits over the years, largely because I've set my bike up poorly and I've ended up with, you know, sore knees or something like that. So getting a bike fit can help with your output on the bike, but also helps to prevent injury. And tip number 7, my final tip, is just enjoy riding. Look, when you join a club or when you ride with other people, people like me, you'll hear us, you'll hear me and people in my club and the people I ride with talking about, you know, power meters and carbon frame and carbon wheels and average speed and average heart rate, and probably dress head to toe in Rafa gear or MAP gear in this case, and look all. But just ignore all that stuff. Just get out there and enjoy riding your bike. It's honestly, riding your bike is just, it's so much fun. There's a childlikeness to it. There's a, you know, a throwback to childhood. It's one of the things that a lot of us learned to do when we were kids, and it reminds me of that. And there's a freedom in riding your bike. So just enjoy it. There is a quote from, or attributed to Arthur Conan Doyle, which I love. It's when the spirits are low and when the day appears dark, when work becomes monotonous, when hope hardly seems worth having, just mount a bicycle and go out for a spin down the road without thought on anything but the ride that you're taking. And I think that's it. That's it. Just get out and enjoy yourself. It's so good for your physical health. It's so good for your mental health. Yeah, just enjoy riding your bike. That's probably the most important thing. That's it. Those are my 7 top tips for beginner cyclists. If you have any other top tips for people or for me, leave them down in the comments below. That would be great. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please do hit like. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel to see more content from me. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Okay, really quickly, before I finish this video, I just want to announce the winner of the GLF Hot Melt Wax giveaway for my previous video. So I checked all the likes, comments, subscriptions, all that kind of stuff, ran the names into a random comment picker, hit go, and the winner is Aaron Spears. Well done. Aaron, I'll reply to your comment. If I haven't done already, I'll reply to your comment on the post, get a way to contact you, and then I'll get the wax and the little chain hanger in the post to you as soon as possible. As always guys, thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you to all my new subscribers recently. I'm so close to that 1,000 subscribers mark. So yeah, thank you to all the new subscribers and all the old subscribers, and I will see you guys in the next video.